Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Middle-Aged Mutant Show. My name is Ty, and I'm sorry. We're back again after a long hiatus, and again, it's all my fault. So, come on, lay it into me, guys. Lay me
Yeah,
out.
it's all your fault.
It was all my fault this time.
Ty's fault, per usual.
Ty
It was
Ty
really
blames
his
it
fault
on.
the first time, and I went really hard against him, so I feel like this is now, my comeuppance. But
Yeah.
we're back here to talk about comics, video games, and movies, and give you the middle-aged perspective on all those things, whether you like it or not. I hope that you're here with us this evening, and I hope you have a good time. How was everybody else's time off?
Well, Bodz, you want to go first?
I'll go first. So I got a job as a plumber, and same old. That's the funny thing about being middle aged is you're kind of set in your ways that you can ask me what I'm doing next year. It'll probably be the same thing that I did the past 10 years.
And OH?
Well, a lot of similarities to Bodz, where you just sort of find your groove, as it were, and it's just like, yeah, this is where I like being. But for me, it's a lot of trying to figure out how to market things, a lot of figuring out what not to do, as far as like what I like to say for authors who write books and things like that, where it's like they go real hard with the focus on writing the actual thing and even the art and things like that, but then they have to figure out how to market the book, and that's a whole separate field of study, and we're authors are just sort of like expected just to figure that out on the fly. But some fun things they did, family and we took a trip to Chicago, which was fun. I'm still sore from it because it's a big city, and what do you do in big cities? You walk. And my body was not meant for motion. That's the problem. I was so worn out. I'm still kind of worn out, but fun trip. Glad to be back. Glad to be back here where I can lay down and talk. So where I prefer to be, my natural state.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally hear you. I am now I am amongst the unemployed at the moment because my contract was canceled at my job that I just got. So now I'm looking for another job. That's fun.
Well,
So
there's
if you know anybody,
plumbing. I mean, I can get you a job with the plumbers.
there you
that I just started.
If I can get a job as a Super Mario brother, I mean, I'll totally be down for that.
Well, you may want to reconsider that, because didn't Nintendo officially say that Mario and Princess Peach are not officially a couple?
I know he got cockblocked by Nintendo.
I mean, what else does a guy gotta do?
Well, I mean, if you're remembering the Super Mario movie with was it Bob Hoskins? Is that who was Super Mario? Yeah, John Leguizamo got the princess in it. So
it's Luigi's time.
It's Luigi's time to shine.
Hey, so let's go. Well,
so the guy with an L on his hat got the W.
Oh,
like Wario.
Nice.
Sorry, Wario.
Yeah, Wario.
Sorry, Wario. And Waluigi.
Well, no, let's go ahead and get you plugged here. I know that you were talking about doing your authorship right now. Well, let's go ahead and show off Noh's book. Go ahead and plug away, Noh.
So I have a series called the Eric Icarus series. Book 1 is Unsecret Identity. Book 2 is Unsecret Origin. It is clean YA sci-fi fiction. And what do I mean when I say clean fiction? Well, that basically means no swears, no intense over-the-top action, no intimate encounters of any kind. This is the type of book it's intended for YA audiences, readers, but honestly, the whole family could read it. I really love the idea of you being able to read the book anywhere and not feel like a little embarrassed because you're reading something spicy or something. You know what I mean? Like your parents can see you reading it and it's fine. But it is a book for any fan of superheroes and the like. And it's a superhero story, but with a bit of a twist. And I won't take up too much time of this show, but I encourage anyone who is fatigued by big brand IP And we're going to talk a lot about big brand IP
tonight.
Maybe fatigue, maybe not. But if you want a little something different, check out my books, and all proceeds go to John McBride.
Well,
I'm just glad that finally I can have a book that I can read in public and not be embarrassed that someone's going to look over my shoulder.
I kind of want Noe to do like a lenticular cover where it's like Unsecret Origin on one part, but when you turn, it's like a Harlequin novel with like Fabio bare chested. That way, it like you play a trick on every reader.
It's basically, you know, like yet another shade of gray. One of these things, you know, it's
Look.
yeah, and I finally invented it. The book you can read in public, thanks to me.
Nice.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, America.
You're welcome, America. All right, guys. Well, that's cool. Let's help Noe get his book on that bestseller list, guys. Go ahead and check it out on Amazon. All right, so let's just let's roll back into the actual topics we got here. So, our first topic of this evening is well, no, he doesn't know this because I told him it was only going to be about one thing. He's probably like feeling, oh, I'm on the spot now. But the first thing we're talking about is because this just recently came up. Spider-Man Brand New Day's costume got revealed, and we're going to talk about that. So let me go ahead.
So I thought this was fake. I didn't believe it.
I did too. Then I started seeing it everywhere.
So I'm like, is this? I guess it's real.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and show off what everybody saw. Full page here. Yeah. Oh, Tom, stop. It's annoying.
We ready?
Okay. So I'm annoyed with just a couple of things about this costume. I don't know if you guys are.
No, I am for sure.
I'm annoyed with this weirdness right here.
That's what made me think it was fake.
Yeah, it looks like he has breasts, and I don't know, but it doesn't look great.
You know what's really? I mean, I don't love that. I think it's too broad. I think it's supposed to basically descend into a thinning stripe down the middle. That's a very common superhero costume. If you can't think of a design, you basically do that. Like very similar to the Wolverine, where he had like the line that goes down like the middle, right? And if it's too big, I feels like why even do that? But what struck me about this outfit is the little skinny spider symbol. It's just kind of odd to me.
I'm becoming more of a fan of this. Y'all haven't really read a lot of the new Ultimate Universe for. And to be honest, I trailed off myself.
Just Wolverine for me. So
yeah, I trailed off after Spider-Man. I have read some of the Wolverine, Ultimate Wolverine, but the new costume Spider for the let me just go ahead and show it. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Is the frame you have up from the end of the last movie?
I think it's actually a fan trailer. I was just going to point out that if you notice right here, this kind of scoops into, like, you can still see the pectoral muscle here, but it kind of like Noe's just saying, it goes into a V shape and it's not rounded with the pec. It's just it's kind of a weird. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it looks like he has moves.
Well, what always bothers me about these things, and it's such a stupid nerd nitpick thing of mine. I'm like, you just couldn't be normal. You had to add a little.
Yeah, you
something.
had to add your own little BS to it, and there's just things I'm not. It doesn't come off right to me. It just doesn't pass the smell test like what a Spider-Man costume is supposed to be. I was trying to find this freaking thing.
I like the costume that was at the end of the last movie where he's swinging around and
it was
fine.
This is the way this one is a little bit shiny.
Yeah.
Here, let's go ahead and let's actually just share this one instead. So this spider right here, I'm kind of digging this spider these days. Where like most spiders' legs kind of do just they curl up into one onto the upper part of the because you have the like I guess the thorax and then you have the abdomen. The spider actually all of its legs are at the front; they're not touching the abdomen. So I was always like, yeah, that's kind of that's cool. Kiketo actually did a pretty good job there, with that spider. But it seems like they're going with kind of like the Holland, no, sorry, not Holland, but the Garfield spider a bit more.
Yes, it definitely resembles the Amazing Spider-Man costume, which they made the part two of that. That costume wasn't terrible because it feels like that was a reaction to the first movie where they went different, and it's like let's just kind of be more normal.
Yeah,
And the Amazing Spider-Man Part Two, which I think is a laughably horrible movie. I'm sorry. I think it's just is. I think it's practically a
bad
comedy.
moments. It had.
I think it's a comedy straight up, but the costume was good. So has a little something for everyone.
Yeah.
The best part is I can watch it in public and not be embarrassed. That's my whole my whole angle.
His motto for everything now. Yeah, I am. I'm a bit disappointed in that particular aspect of the new costume. I know it's nitpicky. They show a little bit more. I will say the thing that I do like about it is the mask. It's got here. Let me turn this down a bit. It's got kind of like a Romita eye shape, which I dig. Oh God, I didn't mean to do that.
Have they showed him in the mask yet? I didn't see that yet.
I don't think I've seen the mask yet.
Yeah, here. Let me share this right quick. Of course, I just closed that out. Share the screen instead.
Oh,
okay. Here we go.
Well, I'll say this. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's got more of like a Romita-esque look to it. Let me see.
Yeah, I definitely like that. I like that a lot. You know, it'd be really interesting if they went with the Todd McFarlane droopy eyes. I always thought the McFarlane Spidey eyes were droopy.
Yeah, the big fucking get your hand out of the way.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean about the pectoral muscles. That is kind of odd.
It's an odd.
It's not flattering.
No.
There you go.
And I'm not.
I'd say that's a great mask. Like of all the masks that he's had so far,
That's one of the best ones. Yeah,
that's one of the best ones. They nailed that kind of Romita look, and I personally like that because when the Todd McFarlane mask was a thing, I still liked it at the time. I was like, oh yeah, but it just if I think in real life it would be odd.
Yeah, if you made the eyes like huge like that, it would take up the entire face.
It just it would look weird. It'd be like, whoa, that's kind of strange how big his eyes are. They go all the way to his like jaw. I just think this is kind of like if you're going to do it, I suggest to go classic, and they did. They went classic with the mask.
However, it almost is as classic as like the old 70s, 80s show.
Yeah.
Where it just looks. This is a realistic looking mask.
And you know what this one looks like to me? It really does look like fabric. It looks like spandex. It really does.
Well, the old ones kind of looked very CG. Like if you watched in Civil War, that was one of the complaints I had about Civil War. Is and I'm pretty sure he was entirely CG in that movie. It looked fake. It looked great in motion, like for the most part, but it was fake. You could tell.
Yeah.
But I guess you have to. Nobody can jump around and go like crazy like Spider-Man. But I really
Tom Holland can.
Yeah, no, Tom Holland can. But I greatly appreciate this new mask. It's just like I said, I don't like there's a couple things that bother me about this, and it mostly has to do with the torso. And the spider on the back. I am a big fan of the circular spider.
Yes, I very much like the circle spider.
Yeah, I like the circle spider. See, I think this is the one where they showed some good shots. I don't want to see your ass, Tom. See if I can get to some shots. I thought they had some head-on shots here. Nope, not there. Where is it? I just don't know why they didn't when he came out and did the reveal. He's like, "Hey, everybody, ready to go?" I don't know why he didn't just do why he didn't have the mask on and take the mask off. I guess it's the mask has the cowl portion, and then the front there's like a as far as I know, he has like a plastic mold that gives him that shape, that Spidey shape. Because if you were just it's like if you watch the old Spider-Man what is it, television show from the 1980s or 70s, I think it was 70s. That it was like it should conform to the actor's face, so it always looked funny, and that's why he had the goggles, But now it's kind of like a mold, and they did the same thing with Tobey Maguire's mask, and they did the same thing with Andrew Garfield's mask, where it was like you had this helmet inside the cowl, and it keeps the shape, and it also keeps because you can't these things the spider eyes cannot lay on your eye. It has to be like offset. And
you look like lumpy and stuff.
You'd look really lumpy. But yeah, I mean for the most part, that the only thing I don't like is, like I said, the torso. There's just, I don't like this. I wish it kind of went up and then this way. And then, oh, sorry, y'all don't see what I'm saying. I forget that I got this. I like that. I want it to go. This is fine right here. I'm totally fine with this. It just needs to scallop down like this.
Yeah, and you know what's frustrating about it? It's like, man, you went through so much effort to make it look like the most normal costume, but you just missed this little part, and it's just really weird.
Yeah, it bugs me. Here, let me just take this.
Like, didn't cross the finish line, but all that being said, all things considered, this is one of the better costumes, only because I prefer regular old unflavored costumes. Whatever is like the more normal traditional costumes, what I'm going to like, and this is the closest to that.
Yeah.
Although, I didn't hate the costume like in Homecoming where it had like the black on it. I didn't hate that. It wasn't my favorite, but I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is like, give me the original costume first and then branch out. They didn't do that. Now they're coming back to the original.
Backwards.
Yeah, they've gone backwards. And now I'm like, because here's the deal. I play one of my favorite titles, and it's not the best game in the world, but the Spider-Man games by Insomniac.
Yeah, they're fun.
I like the costume they have, the advanced suit. But as soon as I found out that you could just play the entire game with the classic suit, I fucking did that because that is my Spider-Man. So I'm glad that they're going back here to the past. It looked great, but let's commit.
Fully commit.
Fully commit. I want the round spider on the back, and I pick a better spider for the front because I'm just not sold on the spider that they're using. It's not great. I don't know.
Well, maybe this will start a trend where this tends to happen with a few things where they start out, hey, we're the new version, and things kind of quietly just revert back to the things people are used to.
Yeah.
Maybe this will affect the likes of Superman, which we'll talk about, or maybe even Batman, maybe whatever is considered to be the DCU Batman in the movies.
Yeah.
Well, just wear just some black and gray or blue and gray, excuse me. And just maybe just kind of look like Batman for a change.
Yeah. And so, and kind of going to Ty's point where like you start off with the normal thing, kind of like, and I know John hates the DC extended universe, but or whatever it's
with
called.
A passion.
But like his first costume, I liked because it was the most like a comic. But then after that, they just go, okay, we're going to just start tweaking it and doing weird things to it. So after that first one, I was like,
which one was? I'm sorry, but I was. Which one?
Like the Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
Batman suit.
Oh yeah, the original
pretty normal.
I mean, that was pretty normal.
It
just had a lot of aggressive texturing, is what I remember.
And then after that, they just went crazy with it. Like
the JLA, sorry, Justice League, because I don't think it said America anywhere in the title. At the end where he had like the shades and stuff, I was like, okay, wait a second, is this the Night Owl or is this Batman? I didn't care for that. That was weird. I didn't like that.
It's what's going to be frustrating is when they say, well, in The Flash, when Ben Affleck was Batman in the Flash movie, he was wearing blue and gray. Y'all didn't like that. I'm like, well, it looked dumb. Well, yes, it was blue and gray, but it looked stupid.
And it was also like that suit was like the weird, like not the first suit. Maybe if they would have done that to the first suit, maybe it would have looked good. But like to do the weird suit they were using in the Flash movie, I get it. You're trying, but you're trying maybe too hard.
Get that blue and gray outfit that Michael Keaton had in the background.
Yes, that
would have been so good.
That was so.
That would have been fine. We all like that.
I would have totally gone with that and been happy. Even with the goofy
they showed
bat,
they can do it.
Even with the goofy bat symbol that's there, which is I don't hate it. Let me get that straight with everybody. The original Keaton Batman insignia with the tiny little extra scallops at the bottom,
little feet.
Yeah, I always said that was the tail or whatever. I didn't hate that. I thought as a kid, I thought that was great. And so now, whenever you see it in Wade's book, not Wade's book, I'm not going to say Wade's book. It's Dan Mora's book.
Book.
When you see it in Justice League, not Justice League, it's World's Finest. When I saw it there, I was like, yes. I dig that. I know it's not canon that's the symbol. or the insignia, but I like that, and I appreciated him bringing it back, especially Dan Moore. I mean, he could draw a turd, and I'd be happy with it. He's so good lately. Like except for his backgrounds are kind of confusing sometimes.
Well, backgrounds they suck. I don't
you don't even pay attention.
I don't even draw backgrounds, so that's one of the many reasons I
try. Occasionally I try for a background. But I don't know if y'all noticed this here, but if you look, let me see if I can actually full screen this. If you see right here, the shooters are weird. They're on the bottom of the inside of his like forearm, and they're really, they're not like any I've seen before. They're real. It's like just a giant rectangle with like, it looks like 2 web cartridges on it. That's another thing I noticed about the suit. And I was like, I don't know if I like that, but we'll just have to see like what the explanation is. The other thing that kind of bothers me is like right here, this belt being rounded as the years that I've been reading Spider-Man, it has never been rounded. It's always
it comes to a point.
It's a point.
Yeah.
And
it's always a point.
Bugs me. Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be pointing
to his goods.
To what you really want.
It's for Mary Jane and it's for Alicia. Hey girls, check it out. Party.
It's like one of those T-shirts, like the man, the myth, or something. You know,
the
like
legend.
The man, the legend, pointing down. One of those things. That's essentially what Spider-Man's going for.
No joke. And I'd like to hear what any of the audience members would like to say. We have our chat up. Please go ahead and let us know.
There is something in the chat actually.
Yeah, I know who that is. So thank you. Okay. They're letting us know that the audio is doing good. It's one of my mods. So shout out to Posting. If you want to go to posting.com for stuff that you need for social media, go ahead and check it out. That little web cartridge thing, the larger one, that is different and strange. I haven't seen that in anything else. But yeah, that's mainly it. It's a lot of that costume is fantastic. I'll tell you the thing that I want to see that I haven't seen in any of the pictures. I want to see the front of the boot. Because that is always a sticking point for me. I think if you turn back here, whenever they did the last movie, was it No Way Home or is it Homecoming, No Way Home,
Homewrecker, No Way Home,
Far From Home is what I think it was called.
No Way Home.
Whatever the last one was called, okay. The boot had a kind of like Superman indention in the front, and that irritated the life out of me. I know it's nitpicking stuff. It irritated me to no end. I was like, no, you don't do that. You don't do that to Spider-Man. It's straight across. For Batman, it's got a little bitty.
You can have a little point.
Point upwards, and for Superman, it has a point going downward. But you don't
can have
do
like
that.
a little M shape on his boots if he wants.
Yeah, a little M shape.
Or Metropolis. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, but that
interesting.
That's irritating.
Well, I don't dislike the costume as much as you guys, but I see the points you're saying. But I'm gonna point out something that I really do like about it is how bright blue it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. The one in the last movie was so shiny at the end. I was like, oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And then they've made this one a little bit more drab. So I'm like, yeah.
You know, this one looks like I believe that he could fold this up into a bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Put it into.
He could wear that under his clothes.
Yeah, I'll buy that, you know.
Although now it's like horribly inconvenient because if you remember the original Spider-Man costume, whenever he put it on, it was all super baggy to get to like ease of like putting on, and then he would he would press the spider and it would suck to his body.
Yeah,
I kind of wish they would say, hey, yeah, he talked with Reed Richards, he got a costume made of unstable molecules, and now whatever, but I don't think we'll ever hear that, especially now that it's well,
this is like a version where I don't. This is very confusing because I'm like, is this a timeline where he even met Tony Stark? I don't really know what they're.
No, this is after all the Homecoming, No Way Home, and Far From Home. And No Way Home.
So like Lost, whatever happened. Right?
Yes, I think everything happened. What I don't remember is because I've only seen the Far From No Way Home once. Was he talks to Doctor Strange, says, hey, go ahead, we need a spell so that I can that nobody knows that I'm Spider-Man, because remember in Civil War he reveals, I mean in the comic at least, he reveals that he's Spider-Man. He's been Spider-Man since he was 15. But in here, I think it was different that people knew he was I can't honestly not remember. I get my comic book and my movie history mixed up, but
it was the whole deal with Mysterio saying he's.
Oh, that's right. You're right. So Mysterio reveals his identity, and then he goes to Doctor Strange to get it done. But in the comics, for like I think it was called One More Day, he goes to he makes a deal with Mephisto for him to do that. But he says the price of you becoming just Peter Parker and becoming Spider-Man, knowing nobody knows you're Peter Parker, is that I get your marriage, and that's how they, made him eternally single, and everybody hates, everybody hates it. I agree. I hated that. Joe Quesada does a lot of beautiful artwork, but a lot of shit stories. That's just bad story beats.
Right.
And that was
the fact that Marvel just outright refuses to make proper timeline main canon Peter Parker happy.
Yeah.
Like they'll say, like, we know what you want, we don't care. I think they've almost just actually said that.
Yeah. We know what you want. Very weird. But F you,
He's one of the few superheroes that has to hold down a job and isn't super rich and has to work. Is like, can you not just be happy?
Yeah, can I just be happy?
Seriously,
save the world like every day.
Yeah.
Like at some point, even to other heroes, like at some point, like, okay, Matt Murdock's been through enough, right? Peter Parker's been through enough, right? Like I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't need it. To me, it's like I don't need for a superhero to be like absolutely, or just any hero in any movie. I don't need them to be miserable for that to be their arc. Like in Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, I don't need Indiana to be in dire straits at the beginning of the movie.
I don't need you to ruin their life for me to have a storyline. No. It's what it kind of reminds me of. If you ever played the Arkham games, they're based upon the Metroidvania formula. So like, let's say you have the original game and you play it and you get your superhero. I mean, you get your Superman. Your Batman or your Samus Aran. You get them like super powered up, and then the next game hits and they're like, something has to happen to strip you of everything. And that's exactly how movies are these days. They're like, well, I know that everything was hunky dory, but now we have to strip you down of everything that made you happy.
Even in the Flash, they meet the Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne. He's all like, I'm crazy derelict person. I'm like, that's such a tired cliche. I'm like, I would have been fine with like, he's basically still Batman, but just older. Like, I would have been fine with that.
Happy with that.
And that brings us
more like, go ahead.
That brings us to our next segment, Happy Gilmore 2. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we know he's happy just from the title.
Oh my God, that movie sounds so mean-spirited whenever he's like, so he hits a ball, he hits a golf ball and kills his wife. And I was like, wow, that's a great way to start a movie.
That's your classic strip the guy of happiness, so that way he has
to have some sort of motivation.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. But anyways, Spider-Man Brand New Day, that's the costume. If you want to go check it out yourself. But I'm still gonna say, if you're gonna commit to a Spider-Man costume, commit. Do not do these half measures. I don't like it. Put the rounded spider on the back. Put a different spider on his chest. I honestly, just something else. That one is terrible. And let's just, let's not be embarrassed to be making a comic book movie, for the love of God.
Exactly.
For the love of God. Anyway, so let's move on to the next topic, which is it's a game. No, H, I know your eyes are going to roll back in your head right now, but I'm going to talk about this briefly. So I have become really kind of, I don't know if jaded is a word or just kind of like just bored of games, like modern games these days. We get a new game every other, I don't know, it's like every other like mid-year we get a gaggle of new games, and every time I'm like, I mean, the problems that I see in the gaming genre right now are that, there's a noticeable decline in like game genres, like specific genres, and then you have like this increasing homogenization across titles, featuring like an open world, formulaic protagonist, you like, for example, like a strong female lead who's also lesbian and she shoots a bow. Like lots of monetization. You have heavy-handed messaging that like overshadows the gameplay. You get a lot of presentisms that disrupt like immersion and historical authenticity. I also find that like a mix of underdeveloped like gameplay systems are there instead of like a well-developed mechanic on its own. And also like it feels like everything is like committee driven. Like there's a lack of cohesion and creative direction. So it's like it feels listless, and there's no like core game development that's like super refined and like this is we're either a stealth game, we're a shooter, we're a I don't know, a farming sim. There's nothing like that anymore. Everything's like a hybrid of one another. It's like this. It's like we had to take everything and like homogenize everything because there was a focus group that told us, hey, this is what works, and we all want some piece of this pie. And so I don't know if you feel the same way, Bodz, but that's how it's been for me lately, where I'm just like, I'm not really like super duper excited for a lot of the games that are coming out lately.
No, yeah, me neither. I can list a few off the top of my head that I am looking forward to. But my big problem with like modern gaming is like I have a friend like who will remain nameless
Oh
that
shit!
goes, let's play this game, and then like dips, and then I'm still playing DC Universe Online like 15 years later by myself. So
I know Bodz is like a ride or die guy for most games.
am.
I don't know if anybody knows this about Bodz, but I'll bring something like he's right. I brought up DC Universe Online. I was like, dude, let's try it. I didn't mean let's like live there.
No, I live there.
Bodz sets up camp in a game, and he's like, "Yep, this is my game for the next 10." How long has it been with DC Universe Online?
So I think in January this year would be the 15th anniversary, I believe.
Oh my god!
That game.
And they're still making it. It's still like the servers
Yeah.
are up.
They're still up. They still put out content, and
for good or for better or for worse, the servers are still up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll that one, and the other one was I will not take any shit for Evil Dead. That game.
No, that's we tried.
We did try, and it was terrible. The same thing for Suicide Squad. I will say that I was wrong. That I was like, oh look, it looks like a fun like shooter that we can all play, and it's set it's done by Rocksteady, and it's set in the same universe as Batman Arkham. That was absolute trash.
Yeah,
it had like no redeeming quality. Well, no, that's not right. I have to give it. Whenever we were in the museum for Batman,
oh yeah, that was cool.
That was the coolest part, and that was it. That was Dunzo. After that game
down by Batman.
Yeah, that game was terrible. After that, I was like, oh, that's just boring, and it's like it had its own message. And then later, it got more crazy and woke. They had the Joker come out, and he was like, I think he was handicapped. He had I think he had like a missing leg or something. He had like a peg leg or something like that. And then Mrs. Freeze came out, and she was like a iron pumping lesbian. And then and then they came out with Deathstroke, and I by then I'd already lost, like, I don't know what his deal is going to be.
I don't even know if they even came out.
I don't know what his deal. Yeah, I don't know what his deal is going to be. I don't even know what his traversal mechanic is. I know that for the Joker, it was like he had like an umbrella, and for who was it? I wanted to call her Captain Cold because that's what she looks like. Mrs. Freeze. Mm-hmm. She had like kind of like an Iceman power, which I was like, I guess that's cool. But increasingly I've done that to Bodz. Again, the latest one was Helldivers. I was like, Bodz, let's play Helldivers, and I'm playing it. I am having fun, but man, that game soon starts to feel like masturbation because it's the same shit over and over and over again.
I literally played it right before we did this podcast.
Oh my god!
You can go to cities now, Ty. You can go to cities and fight.
Okay. I might jump back on, but that game, it just doesn't. It feels like it never changes, much like war, which is a good lead into what we're talking about here. So, I'm finding now that I have gone to retro style gaming more. I'm doing more emulation. I'm playing older games that are in my Steam library. I'm anything that comes out that's kind of like a boomer shooter or some sort of like like a remake of an old title. Like for example, I think it was the Soul Reavers franchise came out. I was super happy about that. I'm ready to play for it. I'm ready for that kind of stuff. And so this next thing I'm going to show you. Oh, your phone's a little loud, Bodz, I think. This next thing that I'm about to show you is like right up my alley. And this is the kind of stuff that I'd like to see more of because it feels like this is a person who kind of knew, like, I don't know if either of you've ever played the Fallout franchise, the new one that's done by like Bethesda, but if you play it, it is like if you played the original Fallout, which is like an isometric, like I would call it like it's a turn-based RPG, or not? Yeah, I guess that'd be turn-based RPG would be the best way to put it. But the games are disparate, like just. They feel complete. They've done a pretty good job of like taking the mechanics from that type of game and putting them into Fallout. But for the most part, those two games couldn't be more different from each other with mechanics and everything like that. But somebody came in and they're doing this as kind of like a fan project. It's called Fallout Bakersfield. I was going to call it Baskerville. Jeez, Bakersfield. And let's go ahead and play that right now. Turn it up just slightly. Y'all can hear it, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Greetings to you all, ladies and gentlemen. For our first tune, I'd climbed the highest mountain.
Okay, I'm gonna probably fast forward this only because I don't want to get copyright struck.
Mm-hmm.
And since y'all seen the TV show now, you kind of get a feel. But the TV show is based, I would say, more closely on the way the new games, Fallout 1 through 4, I felt. I guess it wouldn't be 1 through 4. Sorry, it'd be 3 through 5, 3 through 76, because there's 3, 4, and 76. And 76 is, I don't know if it's good now, but I haven't played it.
I heard when it came out, a lot of people didn't like it.
Oh yeah, it was completely trashed when it came out. But this thing gets me more pumped than just about any other like rendition of Fallout. Because I've actually played the original Fallout, and this, to me, this has more of like a feel. It gives me the feels. But this game is based upon the GZ Doom engine, and it's a totally free game as long as you have a copy of. I think you have to have GZ Doom, which is it's basically just a folder you can download, and then you have to have the WADs to go into it to actually make this game run. You have to have Doom as the base game to run it. But,
so it's like PC only then kind of thing.
PC only, yeah. But I mean, this, to me, if you've ever played the original Fallout and moved on and played Fallout 3, it just, this feels more like Fallout than Fallout 3 did. And that came out back in the Xbox 360. But I mean, this is nice. This is one of the nicer WADs that I've seen too. I mean, in a second he hits this guy, like he smacks against the toilet and breaks. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I think it just oozes more atmosphere than a lot of these new renditions of Fallout do.
Harry think he beat your head now.
I'm kind of wondering how they're going to do the super mutants in the show. I'm thinking they're going to pop out and they're not going to be giants or anything like that. But this is the new game. They're about 60% done with this one, and normally I would be kind of like, I'd go, oh well, it's a fan project, probably isn't going to come out. This one I think will come out because I've heard that they put out a couple of games in the past that have actually made it to completion. So Fallout Bakersfield, I think it's a little sad that we have all this tech these days, and I'm more excited for this than I am for like any new game. It feels,
well, it's sort of like when you see at a convention a cosplayer with like this super accurate costume that looks amazing. Some of them can look really awesome, and you're like, this person doesn't have a full studio backing them, and they just made it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows that it can be done. It's just a choice, and that's a frustrating choice.
Yeah. Like today, I literally saw a video of someone who did like a spot on Arkham Joker, and they obviously did the makeup, costuming, all themselves, and it's almost like the people that have the more passion for it are going to do a better job. And
oh yes, most definitely.
Yeah,
most definitely, because it is a crying shame that this is better than anything that I've seen from Bethesda. Bethesda, it's another thing about homogenizing your games, because if you've ever played Skyrim and then you play the Fallout, they're just reskins of one another. I mean, they have different they're a different genre of sci-fi versus like fantasy, but when it comes down to it, they're basically the same game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's what's been going on with me. I just can't. After, like, I don't get me wrong, I am excited for the new Battlefield 6, but I've been burnt twice with the last. I've been burnt 4 times with Battlefield 20. Battlefield 5, Battlefield 2042, Battlefront 1 and 2 were both disappointing from DICE, and so Battlefield 6, it looks good. Like, I've seen some of the stuff, but I've been burnt 4 times.
What was the last one you and I actually played that was good?
It was you and I. It was Bad Company 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a long time ago, but we had fun with that.
Yeah,
and I mean that was the thing. That game, that was very genre. It was like rock paper scissors shooter. You are one of 4 classes. You could have vehicles, but there was always something to counter something, and it always felt like like a game of push and pull, and it was really fun. And you get your friends on there, and you can do crazy shit. Like, you remember when we used to take the little cars or the ATVs, and then we strap C4 to them, and then we ram them into tanks and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was clever.
That was clever. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
You found it's not a bad thing to find your fun sometimes. Yeah. But those games were awesome. And then like the last like 4 games in the series were, oh my god, it was like you had loot boxes and you had just terribly restrictive game modes. Like you play. Remember, do you remember playing the first Battlefront, Bodz? There was like Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 was like supremely more popular, and it's still popular today. You can go onto I think you can go onto your Battlefront 2 servers on Steam and still find a game to play, because people are still like madly in love with that game, still playing it. Yeah. But it never the first 2 Battlefronts, so forgettable. I gave up on them like so fast. I'm glad I didn't drag you into them. But they were so bad. And then Battlefield 5 came out, and it was super woke. I don't know if you ever saw that. They had it was set in World War II, but they had like guys with samurai swords, and a chick that was there had she had they said it was a robot arm, but it was really like a prosthetic arm with a hook on it, and she was a sniper. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, that's horrible. And so all that stuff has just driven me, like I said, to the past. I've gone back and played more stuff, older stuff, like Far Cry 2. If you've ever played that game now, that game is so freaking crazy. Mm-hmm. The mechanics in it, you're like, man, it's funny how that you play that and then you play a new Far Cry, and you're like, this felt more like advanced than that. And it's just weird.
Didn't Far Cry 2 have it? You could build maps and stuff like that?
Honestly, I can't remember. I think that was a console exclusive. I can't remember.
It probably was, because
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember, but I do remember something about that. Like, you could create maps in Far Cry. But that game, I remember your guns, like, they're all like, if they were rusty and stuff, they would stop working, and you'd have to sit there and fix your damn gun in the middle of battle. And you could, like, if you saw some guys, like, they were hanging out in like some tall grass, just light the grass on fire, and it would burn, and it would continue to burn until like there was no more vegetation to burn. And then you had like malaria, and then huh?
Oh, no, don't say anything.
Oh, sorry, that must have been an echo. You have malaria, and you'd have to take care of that, and it had a bunch of stuff going on it. And now it's like a game you're just lucky if it looks pretty. They are so concerned with, hey, does that glass reflect the environment exactly as it should be through ray tracing? Is that okay? That's what we care about. It's not like anything else, and that's just to me like that's window dressing. Can we please get the game like work?
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Getting a game that actually flipping works day one. You'll buy a game, you might as well wait on it unless you have to have the pre-order exclusive. You'll buy the game at launch. It takes let's be generous. It takes 2 or 3 months to actually get the game in a playable state where you're not constantly bitching about crashing and or poor performance or features that are missing at launch. You know, that kind of stuff has just become so like here's the game. It'll be a year before it's actually playable. And we're looking at you, Cyberpunk. That game.
I'm excited to play Cyberpunk someday.
Yeah, yeah. Right now, if you played it, I think you'd be okay. But when that thing came out, it was
isn't it called Cyberpunk 2077?
I know you probably have to wait that long to actually play it.
Yeah, that's 2077. That was the release date. That wasn't part of the title,
dude. That game came out like it was announced in 2012 and came out in like 2022.
Gosh, dang.
It was like 10 years later and it's broke as a joke. It was terrible.
Like I got the game for really cheap because I think you told me.
Yeah, I know. I told you about it because I'd bought it for like whatever it cost when it came out, and I started playing. I was like, "Oh, this is fucking garbage." And so I called Bodz because I was looking on IGN or something. I can't remember what it was, and it was so bad on PS4 that they told people, "We're sorry. Here's your money back, and just don't get mad at us." And so I found out online that they were selling it for $9.99 for PS4. And they said if you bought that version, you could throw it in your PS5 and it would run and you'd have the same license. So I told Bodz that. So yeah, he got the game for $10. I paid $50 and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I still haven't played it yet. I mean, it's like kind of at this point, like the whole excitement's over, you know?
Yeah.
Like, man.
Well, I had to make up for it because I told Bodz about Evil Dead and
The thing about Evil Dead is like we pre-ordered it. We got the cool Ash skins, like the S-Mart Ash and the like the medieval Ash and stuff like that. I never once got to play those characters.
No, he didn't. And then they gave it away for free.
Yep.
They gave it away for free like 2 months later. The whole game with the characters that we paid for. I was so livid.
Yep.
But anyways, that's game in 2025.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Well, right, I'm still playing Marvel Rivals too, by the way. So if you ever want to jump on
I'd like to play that. That game is actually dope.
I know it'll be fun.
It's fun. And my subscription through Marvel Unlimited gives me little skins and stuff all the time. So that's really fun. Let's move on to the actual meat and potatoes of this actual episode. Let's go ahead and talk about Superman 2025. I know that we are very late on this review, but like I said, I had to have some time, and now I have lots of time. So let's go ahead and talk about Superman 2025. Now, I had just seen this. I just seen the movie recently. I saw it.
I haven't seen it yet, so no spoil. No, I'm kidding.
Well, here, what we'll do is we'll talk about do you want to talk about the movie like generally before, and then talk about talk spoilers later, where we can warn people, or how do you want to do that?
Let's do that.
Okay, right. So let's talk generally about the. Let me get my notes right here. I have a lot to say. Okay, so let's kind of break this down. Let's do. Let's start off with story and tone, but let's like talk about like overall, like just like a 30,000-foot view. So,
well, I would say that this movie is definitely more reactionary than focusing on what it is itself. I think it is trying to be so different from Man of Steel that something, and don't get me, overall I did like the movie. I thought it was fun, but I just think that a lot was left on the table, and I think there was maybe more focus on let's so not be Man of Steel, to where maybe there could have been focus on other things, and it's hard to talk about that without spoiling.
Yeah. Now, I'll start off by saying this isn't the worst Superman movie I've ever seen. Nor is it the best Superman movie I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it has it picks in. It's like the Chinese menu. You pick a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. It just picks whatever the hell it wants, and it throws it in there, and it mixes it up for you. And so, I feel like saying that it feels unfocused at times.
Yes.
It doesn't know exactly what it wants to be, but to know it just play, it exactly does not want to be Snyder versus Superman. It knows that.
Yeah.
It's trying to differentiate itself, and I do appreciate some of the things it does to differentiate itself. It does have a lighter tone, which is fine. Superman should have a lighter tone. The costumes and sets, they're not nearly as gothic and dark as everything found in the Snyderverse. Corn, we call him Corn Sweat. Is
Corn Sweat.
Corn Sweat. I didn't mean to do that. Corn Sweat. He is a kind of like I don't know. He's kind of like a more lighter Superman to me. His Clark Kent is excellent. I'll give him that. I did appreciate his portrayal of Clark Kent. He's got kind of that. He does like a pretty good Christopher Reeves impression. You know who he reminds me of, Ty, and I haven't brought this up to you yet. I was saving it for this, but the way he talks, like his voice, and especially when he's kind of freaking out, like when he's talking to Lois, like when she's interviewing him and he's getting really defensive. He reminded me, and it sounded like Brendan Fraser to me.
Yes, oh, really? He does a lot.
Yeah. And I would have thought, like, I think they're fake pictures, like pictures of Brendan Fraser dressed up as Superman.
Yeah, I'm not sure how real those are, but
I'm pretty sure they're fake. But it looked good, and back in the day, maybe that he would have been a good choice. But that's just who he reminded me of. So I ended up liking him more than I did initially when he was first cast. I don't think he did a terribly bad job. I never would in the movie thought like he didn't annoy me at all. That's the one thing. I was more there. None of the characters except sometimes Lois got on my nerves, but she did it in a good way. The way I would expect Lois to get on your nerves.
Yeah, sometimes. Lois is like I'm like, yeah, this is what Lois would do, and like, in like the generalized, like most versions of any series, Lois is going to do this. I'm like, it was more the way they presented her, like physically. Like, to me, Lois is supposed to be like a hottie. That's why whenever she was Margot Kidder and I forget who the I know there was Kate Bosworth, right?
Kate Bosworth,
she was all right. And then
Erica Durance, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Ava or not Ava? Adams. What was that lady's name? Her last name is Adams.
Oh, Amy Adams.
Amy Adams. I didn't think she was a great one. This lady at least kind of looked the part, but they dressed her so frumpy that I was like, and
I really like the Superman and Lois actress, Billy Tulloch.
The girl from Grimm.
Yeah, she's I like
too old.
She looked. It was fine for fine for TV. I don't know what that even means, but as far as this movie, the outfit choices felt like
she had like these weird baggy pants that were high watered. Yeah, these really comfy shoes. It was weird.
I noticed that. I was like,
like even the stuff they just showed her in, like this outfit that she was in right here. After Metamorpho, hold on one second. So there's Metamorpho. Come on, lady. Where you at? You go too far?
You've gone too far this time, Ted.
I've gone way too far. It'll come back around. I'm gonna loop it.
Metamorpho. So I like the actor a lot who plays him, and I thought that whole part was fine. But the Metamorpho I'm used to reading is more like a rough around the edges type of guy.
Yes. This one was like a kind of too crybaby. He was like,
and I'm like,
he just
the message we were being told, like the story we were being told about him is like, I've been held prisoner and I have a son and I'm desperate. I've been my spirit's been broken. I'm like, if we get Rex at that point, sure, I guess, but it's just very weird to see.
But like Rex, even with his child, he was kind of he didn't take people's shit.
He was like belligerent and like irate and was really fight people.
He's kind of like Stag has like ruined his life, and he's pissed all the time. Yeah, and it's always boiling beneath the surface. So whenever they showed him crying, I was like, if it's his child, yes, I understand what that bringing tears to his eye. But I always thought of Rex as a tough guy. And this was
very much a tough guy.
when he was in the JLE. He took on Guy Gardner, beat the hell out of him.
Yes, he did.
So that seeing this is kind of a weird, like this kind of crybaby one is weird. And also, I didn't know whenever they were talking about he can't carry anything in his elemental form. I was like, I don't know if that's true.
I don't know enough. That could be a thing.
I mean, maybe somebody knows more about Metamorpho's like actual power set where what he can and cannot do. But I was like, I don't know. That does not sound true. His costume, like I will say, it looks good, but it's all practical effects, so it looks. I don't know if that guy who plays him is terribly buff. What he needed to be he needed to be terribly skinny to make that costume look even better. And the shorts being really baggy, that bothered me. I don't know if that bothered anybody else.
That looked really weird. It's not that I wanted to see him. Like, I want to take his pants off. I wish he would take.
I would have biker shorts so I could see the contours of everything.
Ultimately, I guess I appreciate the shorts. They just looked weird.
Yeah, it just looked flouncy and weird. I don't know. I just wasn't. Go ahead. Did we lose you?
It's a regular old S on his chest. I think I would have liked the movie so much more.
Okay, sorry, we lost you for a second. So you're saying you pivoted over to Superman? Sorry.
Well, I was just saying, if you would have put the regular old S on Superman's chest instead of the stylized Kingdom Come version, I would have liked this movie so much more.
Yeah.
But the Kingdom Come version, I think is fine for that. But it's honestly one of my least favorite S designs.
Yeah.
I only imagine it's easy for the artist to basically draw like a slanted little bar.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to remember all the shapes like we had to remember because that's how you do Superman's S's. You had to know all the shape. I still know them to this day.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's not easy.
It felt and let's move on to other characters. Mr. Terrific. I thought he was pretty damn terrific. He was one of my more favorite characters in the movie. Yeah. Whenever the guy who portrayed him did an excellent job. I was like, well, yeah, that's how he's kind of a dick. He's kind of short with people. He doesn't take, he's like always, I got to do this. I got like, especially when you read him in like the Terrifics, that, that short series that they kind of happened around like the dark multiverse era. He was like, I don't have time for your emotions. All right. I got to do other things. I got to fix bigger problems. And then he wants to escape everybody so that he can work alone. And then he finds out he's like tethered to everybody. And he's like, damn it. He doesn't seem like he likes people very much. And so
he was like funny. There's one criticism about the Superman movie that I find myself agreeing with, but it didn't really bother me as I was watching it. That Superman has to get saved a lot.
Quite a bit. Crypto saves him. Mr. Terrific saves him. Metamorpho saves him. Who else?
Just about everybody.
The Justice Gang, quote unquote. The Justice Gang.
But now continuing on in this.
Continuing on with characters. Let's go on to Hot Girl.
Pointless.
She had no business being in the movie.
Yeah, she was
just there just to be the girl.
She was definitely a character.
I like the actress. I mean, she's been in other things. Like she was in that Aliens movie, and
which one? Romulus?
Was that Romulus?
Was she the pregnant girl?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, that's a good movie. That wasn't bad.
That was a real good movie. And she was the little girl in the last Transformers movie. Not the last.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? So she was
with Mark Wahlberg. Maybe that was the last one with Mark Wahlberg.
He's like, yo, dog. Yo, Hot Girl. I just want to talk to you.
I just want to talk to you. Got some Transformers up in here.
So what's funny about the Justice Gang, somebody pointed this out, that they have JG on their costumes, and they were going on about how that's not their that's not her name. I'm like, apparently somebody thought it is.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the I thought that was the logo for the company that was sponsoring them.
Is it not Ted?
It was. Cord? I thought it was Maxwell Lord.
Maxwell Lord, yeah, duh. Is it not Max Lord?
Yeah, I think it's Max Lord who's funding them.
Yeah, and it's like,
I don't know. That's what I thought, because if you noticed on some of the items that they had, like I think it was on Lois's tape recorder, it had the company's name there too. So it was in a couple of places, but yeah, that's what I thought. Guy Gardner, I thought he played a pretty good Guy Gardner, sufficiently dicky, full of himself, proud of his hair.
I mean, it's definitely James Gunn hiring his friend, sure, but you know, it was still good.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job of to me.
I actually, to the movie, I wore a Green Lantern shirt just to represent.
Sure,
him.
you didn't do a bull haircut, Bodz?
I did that too.
And man, just talking about a guy who's just synonymous with Green Lantern in some way. He's like, I'm going to be a Green Lantern in some way or form.
Yeah,
some shape. Or
I know, because
form.
didn't we think at first that he was actually going to be
Hal Jordan?
He did like the voice.
I think. Yeah, he did the voice in like the animated cartoons, like the was it Emerald Knights
or New Frontier, maybe.
Maybe I think he did it. I think he did it quite a bit, honestly. Like he was the voice a lot of different times, but like for years they're like, yeah, let's like Nathan Fillion for Hal Jordan, Nathan Fillion for Nathan Drake too. While we're at it, it was like he was cast as all these characters that everybody was like he'd be perfect for, and it never happened. So
yeah, so he's like, hey guys, I want to do these movies, but I'm not going to wait around. So, I'm going to do Castle. I'm going to do The Rookie. So,
he was in Suicide Squad, right? He played the
arm fall off or the detachable kid or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I was, So this is his second or third DC character, whether he did voice acting or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he did a pretty good job. It was sufficiently funny. Some of the things he decided to conjure with the Green Lantern ring was pretty funny. I mean,
what was really
flipping the bird to all the tanks, I thought was hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was really interesting to see is all the so-called fans who hated his hair. I'm like, you realize that's what his hair looked like in the majority of the comments, right?
My wife was like, oh God. She was very like, why did they do that? And I was like, well, that's what Guy Gardner looks like. And to be honest, you either cater to me or you have a shitty movie. Sorry, you got to cater to me.
So now I'm just waiting for Batman to knock him the hell out at some point.
Yes.
They've got to do that at some point because that was a big moment in JLI.
So Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, I thought he was really entertaining, but at the same time,
I think he was chewing the scenery a lot, though. Don't you think? He was like, it was him, and sometimes I was like,
the only thing about that really is that he waited a while to give his motivation to throughout the movie it was sort of like, I'm evil for the sake of evil. I just hate Superman, and we're like, well, we're going in with the understanding that you're Lex Luthor and that's kind of your thing. But in the story itself, we were like, does he have a reason? He just, other than the fact that we understand the character has been around for about 100 years. And he waited till the last act to really say, you represent blah, blah, blah. And I felt he was a tad generic.
Yeah. Did you for the single tear he shed, did you feel that was out of character?
I thought that was fine. I mean,
I thought it was kind of like, I don't think he would have done that. I just, to me, is like,
he was acting.
Well, the thing about the whole movie is it was fine. It is a serviceable Superman movie. And going into the movie, the fact that it's a James Gunn movie, I'm like, okay, this will have everything I like about James Gunn's movies, and this will have everything I don't like about his movies. So I was like, my expectations were sort of like, this is going to be what it is. And so anything, I read the other comments about it, other reviews about it, and some things I'm like, I don't really disagree. I guess I just don't care as much because it was fine. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I should be my whole life has changed because I saw this movie. Not really,
Yeah. It's one of those.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, it was there. It was certainly a movie, and it was certainly a James Gunn movie.
It's a fun time at the theater, which is all you can ask.
Yeah, it was a nice little distraction for a while. I was gonna say, so we went through Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific. We've talked about Superman, Lex Luthor, Hawk Girl,
I always want to say
and
hot. I always want to say hot girl. Like that's like her power, just being hot.
yeah, Hawk Girl.
That
And
would
then
be more like Cat Grant. Actually, that would be more her power. Just
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know why else she was there.
yeah, no,
I liked
Token Girl.
well, who was the other reporter? Lombard.
Oh, Jimmy Olsen
Lombard.
Yeah.
Olsen was great. I liked Jimmy a lot because I like that actor though.
I like the actor. I'm still confused on why all the girls liked him.
That's
the joke.
such a funny Jimmy thing.
It was just. I was like, am I missing something? But he was fun. I like him.
I thought he was a fun Jimmy Olsen. I didn't hate him. The kid played the part really well.
You know what? I like that he wasn't like a spy, or he wasn't like a 7-foot tall black guy.
Yeah.
Or he was just
no joke. He did
regular
what he
Jimmy.
needed to be. He was very Jimmy Olsen. He was the best Jimmy Olsen he could be.
Yeah.
Metamorphose Baby did not look like Metamorphose
Joey.
Baby. I don't know what the hell that was they were doing there. It looked weird. He looked like an alien.
Why was green?
Why was green? I was like, he's supposed to kind of look like his dad, but all mixed up. You know,
who is the mom then?
Well, it's what's her name? She.
Well, it's the daughter of Stag, but
is her name? Starts with an SH. Sheila. What the hell's her name?
That
I can't remember.
Maybe Sheila, but
it's
not explained.
Stag.
Well, Simon Stagg's her dad, but it's like
I know.
I forget her name. I know Rex, but I can never remember her name. It's like Sheila or something.
That sounds right, but I just like the fact that they went for it with some of these crazier aspects of the DCU where
go ahead.
Where they have like they have Metamorphose Baby, which is such a and I admit throughout the leading up to the movie's release, when I was like, Joey, Metamorphose son, what's that about? And I go into and I read the old Justice League Europe comics. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But the fact that they did anything with like Justice League Europe is just so amazing by itself, which gives me hope that Justice League Task Force or Extreme Justice may get its time. The old
well. I'm learning tonight, right now on the show, that he had a baby.
Sorry, it's Sapphire.
Sapphire Stag.
Sapstag.
Sapphire Stag. Sapstag. I was like, I can't remember her name. I want to say it's Sheila, but it's not Sheila. It's Sapphire. Okay, so we talked about Metamorphose Kid. What else? Who else?
Lombard.
Crypto.
Crypto, of course, the dog.
Yeah.
Which the only thing I don't like about the dog is that it's modeled after James Gunn's dog, and it's not like the normal breed he normally is. However,
yeah, isn't he like a lab or something like that?
Yeah, but I'm like,
I like the dog though, man. That's the thing. That's all you have to do to get me a lot of times. Have a dog.
Yeah.
I just was glad he didn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is,
he kind of thought there for a little bit. He might.
Yeah, for a second I thought, oh shit, no, don't kill Crypto.
The only thing is, I'm like, at first I was like, oh, he made it look like his dog, but I'm like, would I have been able to resist to make the dog not look like my dog?
No, no. It'd be a pug. if I had anything to do, it'd be a fucking pug. But yeah, so character-wise, there's a couple characters before we can't talk about because of the fucking spoiler thing. But I thought for the most part, most characters were, if they weren't faithful, they were close enough to where it didn't bug me so much where it dragged me out of the situation. I would say there's characters that felt like they're out of place, not out of place, but like not. They were inconsequential. Like, is it?
There was one.
I can't remember Hot Girl's name. Is it Shiara?
Oh, Hot Girls.
Shiara.
Is it Shiara? That's what I thought it was. So. Shiara. I've been reading.
There's
Hawk World a while back. That's great.
Isn't there a Sandra or Kendra or something like that? It's confused. It's Hawk person. It's going to be confusing.
Also, too, you get like the 80s version of like, so you have like Hawk, you have Hawk Man, and then later you get like Hawk World, which kind of like did the whole like Frank Miller-esque type, change the Thanagarian history on the fly, and like, well, is it this person? Yeah, that's the hard time I have with
including a Hawk related person is quite risky because you open up a big can of worms with this famously convoluted backstory. And my 6-year-old son is asking about superheroes. So like, tell me more about superheroes. Which, just honest to goodness, such a wholesome nerd moment to have your 6-year-old son tell me about superheroes. I'm like, you're gonna make me cry, man. What are you doing? Like, like, no joke, like reciting the Green Lantern's oath. I'm like, I'm about to freaking cry here. This is so unbelievable. But
my job is complete.
Yes, and like
passed on the mutant powers to a next generation, a new mutant.
And then he starts asking the question: is that background post-crisis or pre-crisis?
Pre-crisis. Like, can that Spider-Man symbol be a little bigger? Come on, what are we doing here, Dad?
Yeah, come on, guys. Come on.
But he asked about Hawkman. I'm like, I'm not really prepared to go into the full detail.
You're like, let's talk about the birds and bees instead.
Don't you want to know where babies come from? Come on.
Yeah, but Hawkman's complicated. Who are you talking about here?
I basically was like, well, in some version he lived in Egypt, in some version he's an alien. Okay, quickly moving.
Yeah, I do like the Hawkworld version though. I started reading Hawkworld and I was like, you know, this reminds me of Judge Dredd on another planet. Except it's like it's Judge Dredd mixed with the Hawkman of Flash Gordon, and I was like, yep, I dig all of this. What you're doing here, why can't you continue to do this? Because this is fun and good, and they have guns, and I like that.
Who did that run of Hawkworld?
The writers I'm not sure of, but the artists at the time, there were two different ones. I think this because there's two books for Hawkworld. There was like Hawkworld where they're on Thanagar, and it's talking about like how how basically they're just space racists, and they have people come from other planets and they use them as slaves. And Hawkman and his sidekick, I guess you call her sidekick, she's the daughter of like some sort of dignitary, is they're like cops kind of. And let's see, I can probably tell you who did it. I don't think it was Nolan who did that one, but let me look. It's pretty good. I was like, whoa, this is like way. I kind of felt like a Vertigo book, and that really made me like it.
I never read it, but just my memory.
Okay, so the storyteller, as they say here, was Timothy Truman, and the person who did the illustrations was also. Is it also Timothy Truman? I guess he did. Yeah, I think he did both. Damn, hardcore. But if you want to read a book that's like just like I said, it comes off. It kind of reminds me of like if you were reading, if Heavy Metal had said, "Hey, let's take your Hawkman guy and let's throw him into one of our books." That's what Hawkworld feels like, and I really enjoyed it. It's just got a lot of stuff in there that I'm like, can we go back to this era of DC, because I truly think that we need it. You know,
are you sure? No, if I'm going to recommend something, I'm going to recommend. I believe it's Rob Liefeld's take on.
Okay, Hawkman, never mind. So, no, it's for the love of God.
I think you should just go back and read that if you're going to read anything.
I can't even take Noe seriously anymore. Rob Liefeld. What was it? Rob Liefeld's what?
Savage Hawkman. He had his run on Hawkman. So
Savage Hawkman. I haven't read that.
Hey, are y'all hearing music too? Like our exit music?
No.
Is there exit music happening?
I guess I'm just hearing it on mine.
I'm
it's
not.
Weird.
No, I don't have. I didn't trip it, so it's not going. I guess I have to try it now. No H. I gotta put that in my list. As soon as you said Rob Liefeld, I was like, I'm out. I'm just out on that.
He's gonna block you and ban you, and
I know he will. He will. But yeah, so okay, let's move on to the let's see. So we talked about all the characters basically, and next let's talk about. Sorry, I'm getting back to my notes here. We talked about how so it's very much, to me, it's very much tone wise. It is a James Gunn movie. It's jokey, lots of jokes. It doesn't. It doesn't want to pull any of its jokes. Performance wise, we talked about most of the people while we were talking about the actual character, who we liked and who we didn't like, and that's great. Direction and pacing, I say it was fine. I wouldn't say that it was like it had me on the edge of my seat all the time, but it did have me like interested at least, and not feeling like I was bored.
Hey
Well,
guys,
yeah,
I'm gonna leave and come back real quick because all I'm hearing is music.
Okay.
okay.
There's nothing
But
coming through.
what I will say, these things I appreciated was the fact that we all understand the origin of Superman. We all know the story, and if you aren't going to take any big swings and change it, if you're going to leave it alone for the most part, just just gloss over it. And I like a movie that's like not year one. You know what I mean? At this
Yeah.
point,
I did like that it was not an origin story. I'll say that was a strength for it. A lot of people did not agree with that, but I've heard Superman's origin story. I did think some of the and we'll talk about in the spoiler. I needed to say that for spoilers, but I did think some of the revelations about his parents, the parents'
So,
message was kind of like
that's, I mean, if you want to get into the spoilers, that's something that it reminded me of Man of Steel for funnily enough, where I guess spoilers for Man of Steel,
okay.
this
Let's
movie
go
that
ahead and
came out in
let's just do it official.
2003.
Let's officially spoiler alert here. Okay, so spoiler alert.
Here we are.
From this point on,
So for spoiler for Man of Steel, the movie that came out in 2013, I want to say that when he when he killed Zod, that I remember watching that kind of thinking like, oh, this is supposed to be like the big, we're different and we're going for it, we're doing this thing. And I remember at the time thinking, oh, they're doing the thing where he kills Zod, like he's done in the comic at least once, like a million years ago. And I'm like, okay. And so when he gets flash forward to Superman in 2025, when they're doing like, here is Bradley Cooper as Jor-El with the message really being fully revealed to be like, I want you to like get it on with as many human chicks as possible, roll over these people.
it's very
It's your
Viltrumighty
world,
of him.
baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It was very
And
Viltrumighty.
so, yeah, and I'm like, oh, so this isn't like the more widely used version of Jor-El, but is a version of Jor-El. It's something. And so that's where I was like, oh, so it's technically comics accurate, sort of. So us nerds, I guess, are expected to not be mad at it. I don't know. When I watched it, I wasn't really up in arms. In fact, I really wasn't up in arms about anything about this movie. Maybe that's a problem.
Well, I think
So
that's part of its thing. It doesn't want. It's not really. It's not so offensive in any way. It's kind of just there. It's just like it doesn't offend this way. It doesn't. It's kind of stayed so far in the middle. I was like, it kind of feels like almost sometimes like a blah person. You're talking to a blah person. You're like, oh god.
yeah,
It's
it's
a really
like
hard
it's very
conversation.
safe.
Yeah, it's very
It's very
safe. And,
safe.
yeah, I say
And
if we talk, let's move on to like story beats. So, if you, sorry, my wife was telling me she did not hear. She does not hear the exit music like Bodz was saying. Story wise,
it's weird because
Bodz, have you taken your pills?
Yeah,
No,
take your pills, Bodz. Take your pills.
I have not, but it's funny because my wife called in the middle of this and then remembered I was doing this and then stopped. But like right after that, it just played the music. It was just playing
It's
music.
funny.
The
What's
outro
funny
music.
about all this, really, we've all had interruptions from our wives. Your wife called you. Ty, yours said, "I don't." Bodz is crazy. And I was in one.
She's acting as a mod right now. It says Bod's
I was
audio
in one
sounds really
room.
bad, is what I'm getting here too.
Really?
Well, I was in my bedroom, and my wife was like, "Basically, you have to go in the other room if you're going to do this."
Get the hell out.
Yeah. So we've all been interrupted. We all have to just escape to our little corners where we're allowed to do this.
Yeah. Huddle in the corner, cry.
Our
Okay,
fortress of solitude, if you will.
Yes,
maybe
our own fortress. Oh, there we go. Let's talk about Fortress of Solitude, its own character. To me, I liked. I mean, I liked it. Okay. Again, it was kind of like middle of the road. If you're gonna go there, let's go. I want the big key. I want the big key that only Superman can lift. I was like, "Where's the big key? I don't see the big key. Where the hell is it?" And I want one of the Superman bots to come out since he's hurt, lift it and put it in.
The fact that he had robots was fun.
But is it me or is the robots I remember from a kid? They all looked like him. They Superman
they were
bots.
basically clones of Superman.
Yeah. So that kind of and that'd be weird, I guess, to have a bunch of automatons that look like him. I guess in that way you could also have people's voices like Alan Tudyk.
You could have still had Alan Tudyk be have David Corn, or just have him in the costume. It's just
Well, I was picturing them as being just kind of like you get the sense that they look like Superman, but they kind of have like little slits for mouths and they don't move their lips and stuff. That's kind of the Superman bots that I remember. So that was one of the things. But they were fine. And
what really should have happened there? They should have had the Superman bots where they look like him. Lois sees the bots like that's kind of weird, and then the Lois bot comes out like, what do you use the Lois bot for? I don't want to talk about it. This is the Solitude Fortress.
So, when you make me get on the couch. Yeah.
But there was, so I'll tell you one thing I really enjoyed. One part I really liked was I actually liked his parents, the Ma and Pa Kent, which I didn't think I would.
I didn't.
I thought I would hate them. I ended up liking them because I was like, I like the actor who played Paul. I just didn't. I looked at him like, I don't know about this guy being Paul.
He's too fat.
I'm used to Smallville
yes.
handsome.
John Snyder.
Much younger parents.
Snyder.
Yeah. I just the fact that they were so crazy hick. I was all, well, they're from Kansas. It's not like this is the Midwest. It's not the South. She's like, now, son. She had that really drawn out accent. I was like, no. This is two countries.
Like the actor who played Jonathan Kent, I liked him. I like him mainly because yes, he was on Deadwood and things like that. But I remember him specifically as Mikey the retarded immortal from that one episode of Highlander. That's where I know him from.
I remember
him. And Richie took care of him for a while. And,
didn't he have in other things he has real twitchy eyes?
Yeah.
It's
in Constantine he had the twitchy eye thing, and there was another movie where I don't remember the name of the movie, but he's like a
Identity. He played the crazy dude.
He's the crazy guy, and he had multiple personalities or something.
So I like the guy. I'm like,
he's a good actor. Don't get me wrong, but I did not buy that guy was ever a farmer. I know farmers. My wife's family's farmers, and he does not come off as a farmer. And he cried a lot.
What I kind of expected is that I expected and this would be a totally new take on Superman, that after being raised by these people, he should have had their accent and been like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm new to Metropolis.
When he came home, his accent should have started slipping. Lois is
I know.
Really talk
She's like, oh my god. He's like, I had elocution classes, all right. I thought about that afterwards. I was like, why doesn't he have the same accent? Yeah.
So one thing I did like at the end, he's like, play the clip from my parents, and it's his. It's just those. I liked it a lot, but it would have been really hilarious. And son, you should have as many wives as possible. Don't let Ma hear this. But this is
now you were raised Mormon.
Raised Mormon. It's
but I mean, overall, I'd say if I'm gonna go through the beats here. So Superman, since we're talking about spoilers, just go through the whole thing. Superman, he's in the beginning of the movie, he gets hurt. He gets drugged by Crypto to the Fortress of Solitude. That's where we get introduced to it. He gets he gets healed there by the Superbots. Then heads back into battle and gets his ass whooped by Ultraman. We didn't talk about Ultraman because Ultraman's we're in the spoiler version of this review. He is actually a clone of Superman which I thought this is one of the silliest parts of the movie, where he gets basically what is it? I want to call it battleship directions on how to beat Superman. He's a 1A, 13C. and like he does all these moves because he's too stupid. The clone is not like a perfect clone. He's too stupid, and he has to have that to be able to defeat Superman. He has to be told exactly what to do, and so he has this big speaker on his chest, and Luthor speaks through that speaker, and that's how he gets all of his orders and shit.
That was interesting. I remember like thinking like, oh, I don't hate this, I don't love this. It's just definitely what they're going for. And
yeah, it's like
well, the whole.
Well, go ahead, John.
Well, I was gonna say like the whole like he's sort of Ultraman, he's sort of Bizarro.
Yeah,
I feel.
I think that's what he's going to end up being is Bizarro.
I really felt like if he was Bizarro, just call him Bizarro. If he's Ultraman, just let him be Ultraman.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like. Let's not take liberties. If you're going to start this movie franchise off like this, let's stick to canon. Let's not just start making shit up right now. He's like, oh, this is Ultraman. I'm like, no, Ultraman's from another.
Ultraman is like a super dick, you know? What
yeah,
I mean?
he's like an asshole, and he's a criminal, and this I don't like. I wish they would have just left that part out. I wish it would have been just a reveal, and he's not Ultraman. We don't call him Ultraman. We just call him like I don't know, whatever. But
I don't like the fact he was called Ultraman. I'm like, you could have done anything, and the fact his mask sort of resembled Doomsday like a little bit.
Yeah, that's another thing I didn't like.
So what's interesting about the weird creatures, I guess Lex Luthor was amassing. So you said you like Alien Romulus. Well, apparently the Mr. Handsome, skinny, lanky guy was the skinny, lanky alien in Alien Romulus. So there you go.
Yeah, that was weird too. I didn't know what the hell that was. Okay, so Superman gets beat by Ultraman, and then he heads into the Daily Planet. He talks about how he's had an interview with Superman with Lois, and then they go on to have like an interview in her apartment that goes kind of wrong because she's very forward with her questions. He doesn't like it. He leaves, and then he ends up. Where do we go from there?
He makes the Lois bot.
He makes the lowest bot. No, he then he has another. What happens after that? He goes from there to. Doesn't he? Because this the whole Janapur and I can't remember the name of the two countries, but he goes from there to getting basically. I think he gets arrested because it's like in between there too that Crypto gets captured, and that's kind of like the main driving force of the movie.
It's like John Wick, but with Superman.
Yeah,
yeah.
And that's another thing. Whenever Crypto got captured by Luthor, I was like, I would have leveled that building. I would have fucking killed everybody. I'd be like the worst Superman ever. Like, because he was trying to make him look nutty. I understand what he was doing there. He's trying to make him look nutty, but I would have looked real nutty because I'd have leveled that. It would have been like U.S. Agent. I'd like chop somebody's head off with a freaking shield. It'd have been really bad. So I don't think he looked too nutty. I would have been like, give me my fucking dog, you know. So I totally got that. And then he ends up in the Pocket Universe, and then the Pocket Universe was one of the parts that started. There was another silly bit. My wife actually said she thought that was a funny idea, but the Pocket Universe with like the monkeys and the super shit.
Yeah,
I felt kind of comic booky at the time, but I was like, man, this is funny. This is weird. How he has all the monkeys doing that, and how he has Crypto, and the way he keeps Crypto distracted is with super squirrels.
Yeah,
virtual super squirrels. I was like, okay. You could tell that you're not embarrassed that you're making a comic movie. I get it. I like it. But the monkey thing, that was so strange.
That was like, he's like, so this is what you think of all the trolls online.
Yeah, I know. You could tell there was a message behind that.
And that's where I'm like, you couldn't resist just taking a jab. And I'm not saying these fans need to be defended or anything, because most of them, nerds, we can all be the worst sometimes. And a lot of nerds have terrible tastes, and they are pretty horrible. But I'm like, I think I would have just resisted the urge entirely to have some type of jab at any fan whatsoever. So I think just anytime you attack any fans, that's like, well, some kind of deserve it, but I would rather you just avoided the whole thing. But ultimately it was pretty harmless because again, this movie you know what, this movie reminds me a lot of The Force Awakens, in that it is just such a middle of the road. We're basically just gonna keep it straight and down the middle, and just be better than the last thing. That's our whole goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't want to offend anybody. I still agree with that. The scene with the we move on to the scenes where they actually have to find out what, because Superman gets basically captured by Luthor, and he's held hostage by Metamorpho. Metamorpho can actually morph into kryptonite to actually keep Superman from being able to leave his enclosure and this menagerie that he has. And the way they're controlling Metamorpho is by, they have his son in the adjacent cell with somebody there that could hurt him at any time. I thought that was fine. I thought that was didn't hate it. I did know you did see what was coming, where he finally talks him in, because they kill somebody in front of Metamorpho, and that's the weird bit where Metamorpho's, he's killed that guy. He's all sad, and I was like, dude, that is not the guy. That's not the guy. But that's how you eventually. That's he's too much of a tough guy.
I don't know. That doesn't my familiarity with Rex. I'm like, I don't know. But for this particular version served his purpose. It worked for what it is. And and it was just one of the many people that had to save Superman, but whatever.
Yes, one of the many heroes that had to save him. And then you get the pocket dimension that collapses, and they have to escape. And then Superman basically has to fight the clone of himself so that he can close it, and with the help of Mr. Terrific, and that kind of closes out the movie. Here's what I would say about this thing entirely. I don't know if this was the movie that you want to come back with. Like, if this is what you're going to replace the Snyderverse with, I don't think that it was strong enough to say this is the beginning. It's not like Iron Man of 2008, where
that was like a statement movie. That really made
come in like this, just like kicking over shit and breaking stuff, and like, man, we're here to like make movies. And this one was like, you know what, we're here, we're making a movie, and
we're just having fun here, guys.
Yeah, we're just having fun. And I'll admit, the tone is better than the Snyder movies. Everything was Batman to hell, and I hated it. Hated the tone of all those movies. Did not care for them.
Yeah.
This one was lighter and more fun, and I get it. I didn't like every I didn't like every shift in art direction, like Noise was saying. I did not like the Superman costume. I do not like amalgams of suits, like the New 52 costume meeting the Kingdom Come costume. It wasn't even a great version of that. I mean, I would have, if you were going to do the Kingdom Come costume insignia, I would have made the instead of yellow, I would have made it the yellow black, and then the exterior part I would have made that yellow.
My theory was like, when I first saw the costume, like, we have a little bit of everything, so nobody's happy, right?
Yes, no, exactly. And the costume looks just frumpy, and like it just.
And that's the thing, like that. Those are the costumes, and that was. I remember people online were like, they saw the Guardians of the Galaxy costumes, were like, I'm like, oh, these are going to be some foldy, loose, lumpy costumes, and I'm like, yeah, they kind of were.
Yeah,
and Superman, like, I don't need to see skin tight fake muscles. No. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see a nipple here and there. But,
let's not Jules Schumacher in this movie.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see. But
I just didn't feel like I feel like it was like, if you're gonna fight in this thing, it'd be cumbersome. I felt that the whole time I was looking at it.
Yeah,
that looked like cumbersome.
It looked really, kind of cheap by comparison, like, I'm like, I don't know, man.
It wasn't overly textured like the Man of Steel costume. It wasn't, they weren't afraid too much to put trunks on, but I swear there's some middle ground there. They didn't do a very good job on the trunks. The suit made him look wide and not strong. He just looked wide. He kind of like Adam Driver as whatever the hell his name was in that movie, Kylo Ren. Yeah, he looked wide like Kylo Ren. It was a poorly fitting, not very good costume. Too many things.
Looked like he slimmed down, but he still kept the same costume. Like, because I don't really know their explanation for this particular version. Like, I don't know if they're going to try to say Ma Kent made it, or if that's the suit he found in his rocket. I like to think maybe it's the suit that was put in his rocket, and Jor-El just made one size. And it's like,
you'll grow into
I
it.
guess you'll grow into it eventually.
Yeah,
and I also get the
Jor-El was really husky.
Yeah,
this is my suit.
After all those harems, it's only so much he can do.
No joke. It's hedonism as a Kryptonian.
Well, the thing is, and I also get the really strong vibe that he's going to get a new costume in part 2, which I hope he does, because that's just the way of superhero movies. You get a new costume for each movie.
But it did not. Go ahead.
I'm just like, because I remember even in Man of Steel, where it's like, I remember it was like Russell Crowe was like, "This is your special suit," that blah blah blah, and I'm like, "I'm glad it fits you." Exactly. But anyway, also like, it's really like depends on what they say. Like, is it just a costume he made, or is it like a special Kryptonian outfit? I'm very curious to see what they're going to say about that.
So Maxwell Lord gifted it to me.
Yes. Or just get vibe from the Flash. Get Cisco, like, I made some updates to your costume. There you go. I would take that.
I don't know. I don't know. It makes me kind of like go, hey, what is Batman's costume gonna look like? Not like this, I hope, because I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, and like that's, as much as they want to be different from the Snyderverse, I feel like they're making a lot of the same mistakes. Where Snyder, he made like Watchmen was like the big one, right? And it's we really liked Watchmen. You got the job. You're going to do all of them now. But hey, let's slow down. We liked Watchmen, or I don't know, but like Watchmen was fine. But do we want this for all of the movies?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we had fun watching the Guardians movies, but that doesn't mean I want all of DC to look like this.
Yeah.
But you know what? Mission accomplished. The DC got to do what they've been wanting to do for like 10 years. They made their DC movie. They made a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Mission
accomplished.
accomplished.
Whether it was successful, that's a different story.
That's the thing. DC, and like a lot of studios, they have this idea of what an MCU movie is from like 15 years ago. They're ignoring what DC or what MCU has been like the last 5. And I'm like, do you still want to be like the MCU, which itself is fading away into media? Well, not even mediocre, just terrible, just bad. So they're trying to stick to the idea of like when the 2008 Iron Man came out. They like when Avengers came out in 2012. They're like, oh, we want that. But not even Marvel is able to recreate that. So I don't know why you try to
why? How do you
aim
think
for that?
And why you picked of all people James Gunn to do it? I mean, I understand that he did 3 movies in the MCU, and then he's done.
Well, he also did the Suicide Squad, which was fine for that.
Yeah, but it was. But and he's done Peacemaker, and they like that shit. But it's just not. I don't know. I think if this is your triumphant reboot, it just wasn't very triumphant. It just
I feel like it was a bit rushed.
It's kind of like, when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, like, would that movie, if that was the first MCU movie, would that would
that have kickstarted everything? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it was his own thing, but I don't know. I think Iron Man, the reason why it succeeded is because it was something that it was on a scale we had never seen before for a superhero movie.
Yeah.
We had seen attempts at superhero movies in the past, and they were just terrible because there was no money behind it. There was no CG behind it. There was no like real backing.
Also, 2008 was just a really just breakthrough year for superhero movies in general, because The Dark Knight, it came out, and like people are still talking about that movie. And then you had Iron Man come out like the same year, and it's like, audiences were just eating it up,
But it also took itself serious. It also kind of was not afraid it was a superhero movie. Batman, to me, the movies have either been afraid or they've gone camp, or they've gone not afraid of superhero. It just depends on who the director was. But it's like I'm a superhero movie. You can take me seriously. I stay close enough to the original storyline because if you read the original Iron Man, the story is like really close. Like what they did in that first movie was really close. So it was impressive to me at the time that it was not afraid to be a superhero movie. It didn't have to come up with this alternate history. It didn't have to come up with alternate characters. Although some of the characters they picked for it were not great. Greatly represented there, but it at least was an origin story that fit Tony Stark. And I mean, I want to see. They were a little bit afraid of certain things like the Mandarin. They're terribly afraid. And you notice they haven't. I always felt like Iron Man was like the answer to commies. So, like Captain America was the answer to the Nazis, and Iron Man was the answer to commies. And they were like, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that either. So
well, and then there's this movie where it's like, we're going to have Superman being involved in like foreign wars, nothing new there. But I think the fact that they chose this particular type of foreign war was like, I feel like they were trying to be like, I'm like, it's because honestly, if you remove that whole aspect of the story, that there's some other war going on, I feel like the movie more or less could have just been the same. Like I thought, like let's say the reason Superman gets like arrested or whatever, there's a big conflict is because everybody saw Jor-El tell him to, you know, uh, basically have harems and like take over the world and stuff, right? That would have been enough for me. And the fact
why
I guess they wanted the lowest conflict.
Yes, yeah. What I didn't understand is if Luthor has a clone of Superman, the best way to make Superman be hated by the populace is to take your clone and have him do shit. Yeah. Have him make the harem.
So have him dressed in the regular costume.
Yeah.
And then you just hear a radio going A1, A1, A1. You just hear like
yeah. But that's what I didn't understand of the movie is like, why didn't you just have that Superman, your dumb Superman, just go and do all the things that because he's like, I'm trying to prove that Superman is a bad guy. I'm like, you have a clone of him. Just have him do all the bad shit.
Just have him
there you go.
And like he can't talk or anything. He's like,
and plus people would have figured it out because they would have looked at him on the camera and they're like, Superman, can we talk to you? Oh wait, you're not Superman. Your eyes aren't crossed.
You're kind of like, are you stupid, Superman? Are you stupid or something?
But that was kind of a weird plot hole for me. I'm like, you have a Superman, just make him do all this bad shit that you want him to do.
We were meant to understand that Ultraman was like retarded and we couldn't trust him. I think we were meant to understand that Lex is like, I'm not even going to try. I have to do all this other stuff. But there was a lot of fun. Like here's the big difference between this and the other Snyderverse and everything else, and a lot of other just superhero movies in general. As mid as this movie was, I could rewatch it and still have a good time.
Yeah, no, I'll watch it again when it comes to VOD. I enjoyed it that much.
Like leaps and bounds better. But then again, our standards have been lowered so terribly.
I can't say that I would watch Superman. What is it? Superman Batman v Superman. I don't think I'll ever watch that again.
No, it was so god awful.
I just can't. So for rewatchability, yes, it gets a thumbs up.
Well, and I don't really trust myself when it comes because like the Batman with Robert Pattinson, I expected to hate that movie. I ended up liking it.
Yeah, it was not bad.
Things I don't like about it, but overall, I could rewatch it and still have a good time. So now I'm like, hey guys, I am open, man. I'm here. Show me what you got. And this is it. I'm like, I guess this is as good as we're gonna get. So whatever.
We're here. Well, this is the direction for the next. God knows how long this is going to last before they do another reboot.
And that's another reason it's tough to get excited about this. I'm like, this is Superman for now, and then there'll be yet another Superman. But what got me, related to that is So if you're one of the sons of Christopher Reeve, the one that was appeared in this movie,
Oh yeah,
like,
he's a
oh,
reporter,
first of
right?
all, yeah, first of all, if that guy could act, like, good grief, just make him
Yes.
Superman. Like,
Yeah.
he
They said
looks
he was like
just like
terribly
his dad.
nervous though. They said he was like whenever he had to get to his line, he was like terribly nervous. So
Yeah, I'm
that
like, and
that sounds
he's
about
like an on-air, like,
personality.
real
Yeah,
life reporter guy, I
I
thought,
don't know what the
but
hell.
I guess it's different. But how surreal of a life must that guy and the other siblings must have? Like, every so often, they're going to bring up a guy like, hey, here's the guy that's going to pay tribute to your dad. 10 years later, hey, here's the guy who's going to pay tribute to your dad. 5 years later, it's the
Yeah,
same thing.
same thing.
I'm like, that's cool, but also has to be very weird after a while.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's such a bizarre experience, but it's that just goes to show you how the Christopher Reeve movie is just undefeated. It's untouchable. Where it's
to
like
this day. Yeah,
every movie after that is just going to try to be like that at least a little bit.
yeah. But anyways, Superman Return. Not Superman Returns. I was about to call it Superman Return.
Superman Returns.
Wasn't it Superman Legacy at one time? That's why I'm weird.
Yeah,
I
that
hate
was
it
the
when they do
original
that.
title.
So I'm just gonna call it Superman Legacy, but it's actually Superman 2025, which I hate.
I like the fact that they dropped that because I'm like, just call it Superman. That's what it is.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
I hate that. Like we always had, Superman 2025. We have to. That's why Man of Steel. It's easier to just say Man of Steel. you know, but
Well, that's because the Dark Knight was just the Dark Knight.
yeah,
But yeah, man. I mean, Superman
it was
Legacy. If they
certainly
would
a
have called it,
movie.
yeah, it was
Of all
Superman
movies, it was one of
does
them.
things. Yes, and
Superman did not. I mean, it didn't do any. It was certainly a James Gunn movie. That's the other thing. It did have to me, a couple of plot holes in it. But again, I would much rather watch this than watch another James Gunn. Sorry, not James Gunn. Snyder rendition of anything that had to do with the
so
DC universe by far.
how were you when you saw Supergirl at the end? Did you have any reaction to that at all? Was it just sort of like, oh well, or
Yeah, I felt like
outrage?
no. I just kind of felt like I was like, oh well, that was something that happened.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I
certain.
felt like. Well, anyway, I asked you how you felt, and I'm like, all right, that's enough of Ty. Here's what I think.
No, it just felt like they're like, hey, yeah, look, she's irreverent and she's like she's kind of punk rock when because he had his thing like I'm a punk rocker and she's the real punk rocker, kids. Look, she just called Superman a bitch, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And he even had the same reaction I did, where he's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
Well, I felt like, well, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I know there's been enough versions of Supergirl where I'm like, that's bound to have been one of them, and they just, but it's sort of like when they, sort of like the last Supergirl in the Flash. I'm like, yeah, there was a dark-haired Supergirl, but come on, can you just pick the normal one? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there has been like the party Supergirl, but you know what? Considering her options, there could be original OG Supergirl where she's like wanting to like it, Superman's wanting to like marry her, but like no, we can't do it. Like, or original Supergirl where Clark just drops her off in an orphanage. Like, here you go.
Here you go. Good
It's
luck,
just someone
kid.
else's problem now. So I mean, there's different. It could
Wasn't
be a
there
lot
also
worse.
like
But
an
when I saw
alien Supergirl? Wasn't there like a
the
metamorphing?
Matrix, which is just a whole other thing, which I'm not even completely
Yeah, I don't
familiar with.
understand that whole thing myself.
Like, man, I remember as a kid reading the Death of Superman when Supergirl gets punched and he turns into like a goo thing.
Yeah, it's like a
I'm
green
like,
alien. Yeah,
like purple. I don't even. And they call
I
it. Oh
can't.
no, it's the Matrix. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell
Yeah,
is going
what's going on? I don't know what's
on.
happening here. Yeah,
But when I
you know,
saw the House of the Dragon actress come out, I'm like, I felt like this is immediately such a tired trope. I
yeah,
feel like this whole archetype is going to be so tedious to watch. I feel like nothing original from even if you could say, oh, it's technically from a comic, well, that's fine. But there's a lot of stupid stuff that happens in comics we
Well,
don't
it's
have to
also a
treat
Tom
everyone
King
like
book, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it?
it's
Supergirl.
more than likely, yeah. And
So
I'm like,
yeah,
to be fair, I have not read it, so I can't really say
no,
for
I can't
myself.
say anything
But
either. It's on my list of stuff to read, but I'm like, I don't know. Is she kind of like a annoying like shithead in that? I don't know. I'll have to read it and find out.
yeah,
I
but
just
it
felt like
does make.
it was like there. How about
I
you, Bodz?
felt like it. Yeah,
It
it was
was
just like.
there.
Yeah, it's like it like let's let that hang in the air like the fart that it is, because
Yeah, like
it
what is there to say about it, I guess. Like,
yeah,
but I
nothing
will
really.
say this about it. Two things. I really it at least provided an explanation as to why Crypto is such a bad dog.
Yeah, yeah. There are no bad dogs. They're just bad owners. Yeah, she was,
Yeah, and
in fact, a terrible
Kara
owner.
is a bad owner here.
Yeah.
But also when they released their first poster for like the Supergirl, I'm like, I feel
Oh
like I've
yeah.
seen this poster
It's like,
15
what does it
times.
say? It says look up, but it says look out or something like that.
And I immediately just don't care about this at
Yeah,
all.
it's not on my radar of things that I really want to see. But we'll see.
But who
I
knows?
mean,
Maybe
who
that
knows?
trailer.
They could, I don't know. They could change my mind. I'm not sure what the next part of the DCU is going to be, but I'm kind of hoping that it's a little bit better than this. And the thing is, if it is any better than this, it will outshine. Most people will probably say, "Well, that's when the DCU really began," because Superman was such a
You know, it's really going to hinge on whatever Batman they try to do, like whatever their Batman is.
yeah,
It might be patented at this point. I have no idea what the hell they're
yeah.
trying
I
to
don't
do.
know. I just hope it's not Alan Richter. After James Gunn was like, "I'm a big fan of Alan
Oh,
Richter," I'm like, "Go to hell."
Richson, yeah.
Or is it
Uh,
Richter or Rickson? Rick, I don't know.
Ritson,
Richson.
I hate that
Ritson.
guy, dude. I don't like him. Don't like
Yeah,
him.
if he shouldn't have been allowed to talk in real
Yeah,
life. I would
yeah,
have watched Reacher season 3 and been fine. But yeah, whatever direction they go for the next Batman movie, I think is gonna really maybe not make or break, but there's a reason they went with Superman first, I think, because they could have. But even then, I kind of wish they would have took another year.
yeah.
But there was
Because
money to be
in the end,
made, so
this was like it did feel rushed, and it kind of, to be honest, it kind of reminded me of a CW movie. It just, I was like, this
it
got
did.
Yeah,
got a little bit of a CW feel to it. All of a sudden, felt a little cheap at
especially with
times.
the costumes.
Yeah, the costumes
Yeah.
felt very CW.
Especially when Tyler Hoechlin's around, looking like he looks like as good quality as David Cornsweet here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, especially.
So
No, but anyways, Superman 2025. I would say if you haven't seen it, yeah, it's worth a watch. I paid $5, $5 and 75 cents, I think, and I was definitely entertained. Again, I'd reiterate that it is definitely a movie, and it's definitely a movie that came out in 2025. It's definitely a James Gunn movie. I will say that it feels a lot lighter tone and looks of a lighter tone than the Snyderverse movies. And for that, I'll give it a like, if you are bored, I'd say this is a good time kind of movie. You know, if you're it's not something you have to rush out. If you want to see it on VOD, go ahead and see it on VOD. But it's not something that I would just absolutely, step over my mom to watch.
If online spoilers don't matter to you, then because it's already been spoiled
Yeah.
all the hell. But I before we leave here, or at least before I leave, I just want to share my theatrical experience watching this movie with kind of maybe my villain origin story. I don't know. Because so Superman, this is like the one movie I'd already seen the Mission Impossible for this year. I happened to go see F1, so I'm feeling good about my movies that I'm seeing. And I'm like, the only other movie I really want to see for the rest of the entire year is just the new Superman movie. And since it's a big coordinated effort just for us to go see a movie these days, and it's expensive, we aren't cheap out like Ty. We pay more than $5. Anyway, so um, so it was like a big to do. Like I was literally looking forward to it because I still like going to the movie theater. I like the whole deal. And so I was very excited, and just to go see a movie more than the actual movie itself. And so I'm in. We're waiting. And we went to one of those theaters where they're supposed to bring you the food to your seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered like popcorn and like a soda, like that was it. So I got the soda, waiting on the popcorn. I go out and talk to somebody. Trailers are starting, already getting a little mad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go out and talk to somebody. They say, okay, we'll bring it. All right, I go back. They play the Odyssey trailer. I'm missing part of that. And I'm
No, you
like,
didn't miss
my
much,
wife
to
is
be
like,
honest.
and my wife is like, yeah, you're gonna have to talk to somebody. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to have to miss some of Superman. And so I march out to the lobby, and I talk to the person I talked to before. I'm like, hey, do I have to make the popcorn myself or what? And like the guy like so, and like normally I don't know. I feel like I don't get very confrontational in real life. But if it comes to popcorn at the movie theater and watching Superman, oh, heads are gonna roll, man. And the guy goes out and makes it, and then I come back. I come back to see I missed like 30 seconds of Superman, livid, just absolutely livid. And I'm like, you know what, Lex Luthor, I'm on your side. This is what
Girl, this is my origin story as a villain. Well, shit.
So that's my, and the fact that I like this movie as much as I did tells you a lot.
Yeah. Well, you overcame adversity there. No,
Yes,
What-
the hope got to me.
What's funny is I kind of had not as similar situation, but I did have to go back and talk to the lobby.
Yeah.
We went to go see it. I took James and all of his friends for his little birthday, like get together thing, and we go to the theater, and we're about to walk in the door, and I see that the poster for before we walk into the movie is for Christopher Reeve's Superman. And I was like, oh shit, did I just buy like 10 tickets for the wrong movie? And I go back out there, and they're like, "No, we just didn't have a poster for the new one."
Oh.
It's like, because they re-release movies, and I was like,
fan of events.
"Oh my god, did I buy online like the wrong one?" Like,
yeah.
But imagine if that did happen. You'd be like, "Well, kids, you get to see the superior golden
I did tell them
standard."
that. I go, "Sorry, kids, it was cheaper to watch the old movie, so I got y'all this instead. Happy birthday, James."
Yeah. Hey, you know what? When we rewatched, when we saw the '89 Batman at theater, it's a fun time,
Yeah.
So it could be a lot worse.
It could be.
Well,
I mean,
I'm glad everybody had a pretty good time with this movie, and I guess that's gonna be it for the Middle-Aged Mutants this time around.
That's right.
I'm hearing the music again. Is this right?
Yes, this is right.
The pills are kicked in.
It's okay for you to hear the music this time.
Okay, just making sure.
You're he's like in the corner, scared. But if you like what we had to say today and you want to hear more, go ahead and subscribe. Throw us a like. Man, you sure as hell didn't talk to us in the comment section, but we'd really like to hear from our audience. Tell us what you thought about the movie. Tell us if we're wrong. Tell us if we're right. Just let us know something. But thanks again for joining us for the Middle-Aged Mutants show. This is Ty, No H, and Bodz signing off.